And so we just want to welcome our dear sister, Manuela. Let's clap it up as she comes forward. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, keep clapping, keep clapping. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Make it louder, make it louder. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stop, we can stop. All right. Good evening, everybody. Okay, so this side of the room is vocal. What about y'all? Y'all not talking? Good evening. There we go. It's really low. It's the bass. All right, so listen up. They say I'm talking, but I just want us to talk. Is that okay? So for that to happen, I think I would like for you guys to feel closer. So can we try to fill in some of these rows up here, if possible? Take your time. Actually, don't take your time. Make your way up closer, if possible. Okay, so I'm gonna move this out of the way, and I might even grab a stool, if possible, for a chat. So my name is Manuela. I would ask you all your names, but I don't know if my memory on a Friday is, something that I can remember, okay? But I'm here, you're here. How was everybody's week? What does that mean, good? Talk to me. What does that mean? You say good real quick. What was good about it? Amen, okay, very safe. Okay. It's the last week before the quarter ends. MCPS? Yeah, so y'all are trying to turn things in, make sure that them grades go a little higher than they were before spring break. Who else? Who had an okay week? Not good, not great, but just okay. Are you looking at me like you want to tell me something, or you just eye contact? Okay, just good eye contact. Okay, got it. Anybody had a so-so week? Not happy about how the week was, but it's Friday, who cares? Just regular, regular. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me first, and then we're going to jump into the subject matter of the day, of the evening, okay? So my name is Manuela, as I said before. I grew up in this church, so I remember, not that I need to remember, being maybe sitting where you guys are sitting, coming to Bible study or whatever, after a basketball game. I know you play basketball. Yeah, are you good or no? I would like to see it. Coming up here after a basketball game and just sitting there, kind of bored, ready to go home and do it all again on Sunday, right? Anyway, graduate, go to college. Woo, phenomenal time. And then I go to graduate school and I study to become a therapist. Who knows what that is? Okay, what is a therapist? This side of the room. I can't hear you. Counsels others, yeah. Anyone else on this side of the room want to add? Someone that you talk to about your problems? Okay, anybody else on this side of the room? No? No? Okay. We're gonna be besties by the end of this. Okay. Anybody on this side of the room? Yes. Yeah. Okay, that's right. You guys heard that? You can nod. You didn't hear her? Can you say it again a little bit louder for that side of the room? Yeah. Awesome. You got it? Okay, anyone else want to add about what is a therapist? Yes, sir. Yeah. Y'all heard him? What'd he say? Okay, so the physical therapist is a little different. They're worried more so about like your body and the movement of your muscles, right? I'm more so of like your brain muscles, okay? Your thinking, mental, your feeling, and then what it is that you do, okay? Say that again. Do I get the drama? What? Every week is a tea session. So yes, a therapist is basically someone who is able to, one, have a conversation with you about anything that's going on, right? The number one thing that we kind of pride ourselves in is confidentiality. Who knows what that means? Yes, sir, what is it? Yeah. Yeah. So whatever people tell me, I can't tell nobody. So I do gather the tea, but I don't spill it. Yeah, so I can't come up here and tell y'all people, the people business. I can't do that. But again, confidentiality, right? Which means that you have someone that you can share and they're like a vault. They keep your stuff, okay? Now, when I was doing the program, etc., one of the things that I noticed was that it was very rare to kind of have conversations about like Jesus and then therapy, right? Because what do they usually say if something is wrong? What do you have to just do? Pray about it? Go to God. Did you pray? Oh, you have a headache? Oh, go pray. God will heal you. Oh, so-and-so's bullying you? Oh, just pray about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oftentimes you hear a lot of that, especially in the church setting where they're just like, did you pray? And if you did pray and this issue is still there, does that mean that God didn't answer your prayers? What does it mean? Talk to me. Yeah. You didn't do anything about it, or you can't do anything about it? You didn't, okay? You were saying somebody else said no. Yeah. Yeah. But does that mean that like the feelings that you're experiencing, albeit positive and or negative, stop? What does it mean? I mean, you still feel them. It continues. Now, what do we do about that? We talk to a trusted adult. Does everybody in this room have a trusted adult? Raise your hand if you do. Tell the truth. Okay. All right. I'm not going to ask who doesn't. We're going to keep it right there. Okay. So our conversation tonight is, I wanted it to be very broad, but also specific. And what I mean by specific is catered to you as a person. Okay. There's so many routes and ways that I can go about having this specific conversation regarding mental health, but I'm more so prone or pushed to have the conversation based off of the needs in the room. Okay? And what I mean by that is we're all going through something. Your thing, Mr. with the hood and this and the is that a do-rag or a hat? You know I'm talking about you. You look into the side like I can't see you. Your thing, what's your name? Enoch? Yes? Your thing, Enoch, might be different than my thing, obviously, right? And what's your name? Isis. And your thing, Isis, might be different than Enoch's, right? So we all have our own things that are happening. Whether we talk about them out loud or we keep them internally, right? Whether it's a situation that happened at school today or a situation that has been happening at home. Okay? Whether it's I am having trouble communicating with my parents, I don't feel like they understand me, right? Or I feel like I'm a disappointment and I'm not, living up to the quote unquote potential that people are holding me to. And there's so many other things. My thoughts have been really dark lately. I don't know what to do about it, right? And so much more. We are all going through something. Yes? Okay, so this conversation, I want it to be very, communal in the sense that we are speaking to each other. And for that to happen, I know that you guys, from what it seems like, are a quiet bunch, but I would like for us to engage with one another, okay? I want you to be able to leave here and be like, okay, well, I spoke up, and if I didn't, I know how to speak up, right? But for that to happen, I think I'm gonna set some ground rules. This is something that I do when I'm doing my group sessions with people, okay? Meaning, number one, whatever happens in the room stays in the room. Can we all raise our right hand? That's my left. Can we all raise our right hand and say, yes, I agree. Whatever happens in this room tonight stays right here. Make sure, is that your right hand? Which one is, I have really bad, I don't know right from left. I just want y'all to know. They always say L, okay, yeah, so boom. Oh yeah, you guys are facing me, so it's reversed. Okay, whatever happens in the room, okay, that's one of our ground rules, okay? The second ground rule is, if someone is speaking, what am I doing? Yeah, I want to honor you guys, and I want you all to honor each other. If someone is speaking, even if I feel like, oh, here they go again, every Friday, she got something to say, right? If someone is speaking, what am I doing? Okay, Rule number one, whatever. You guys forgot already? Rule number one. Whatever happens in the room stays in the room. Rule number two. When someone is speaking, I am. Okay. Is that an okay? Are those good ground rules? Okay. Does anyone want to add a ground rule to the space right now? It could be anything. No texting while Manuel is talking. Enough. And Anna. Ooh, caught. Any rules that y'all want to add to the room? No shouting out. You think this group is going to shout? We'll see. Anybody else? You think we're good with our rules? Okay, so what I'm going to do, take a piece of paper, like rip one of these out, or two if you need them, and then pass it to the next person. And then if you have a pen or pencil, hold on to that. If you don't, can you raise your hand? And I'll give you one. Oh, I have dum-dums. You guys do dum-dums? Is that still a thing? Okay. You need a pen? Here you go. There you go. You need a pen? Awesome. Who needs a pen over here? Now, I want these back. These are Sharpie S gel pens, okay? So please, we don't steal in church. Okay, well, you have your own pen. Okay, so you guys come to church with no pens? Okay, boom. Share that one. And then I'm going to take some pens from this table. What's a pen? I'm sorry. Do you need a piece of paper? Okay, thank you. We're going to make sure we get our pianist a piece of paper. Here we go. Who needed something? Okay. Pass this back, please. Anyone else need one? All right. When the notebook is done and has hit every person in the room, please give it back to me. So what you're writing, one, on this piece of paper, I don't know if you got one or two, whichever one. You can rip it in half. You can do whatever it is that you want. You're going to write down the number one thing that you are worried about, scared about, thinking about right now in this moment at 8 something? Yeah, it's like, no, yeah. 8:20, almost 8:30, okay? So who has the notebook thingy, Majiggy? Thank you so much. So the first thing that you're gonna write about is the one thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing, okay? I just want you guys to know, right? Like it could just be like, man, I'm worried about what I have to do tomorrow. Write it down. If you're worried about your grades, because what, is Monday if you're worried about your grades, write that down. The number one thing. If you're worried about a friendship situation, write that down. Don't write your name on the paper, please. Confidentiality, anonymity. We want to make sure that you keep your stuff to yourself, okay? You guys didn't want to use my piece of paper? You just wanted to use your notebooks? That's crazy. Yeah. Oh, you need a pen? Okay, sorry. Because I want you guys to write on this. Yeah. So write it down, okay? You are writing down the number one thing that you're worried about. And then maybe also on that piece of paper, write down the one question, if a therapist was right in front of you, you would want to ask them, okay? And then we'll chat some more. Everybody has a piece of paper. Can you open this for me? Thank you. Appreciate it. You said what? Oh, it's okay. You don't have to have a question right now, but just in general. All right, so how many of you guys, as you're doing that, we're going to hop into the content. Okay, wow, so strong. All right, so how many of y'all have fallen ever in your life? Ever you fall, you scrape your leg, you hurt yourself, and then you start to bleed? Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. How did it feel? Crazy, painful, yeah. What else? How did it feel? You fall, you scrape something. How does it feel? It hurts, yeah. What do you do? What did you do when you fell that one time? Cry, yeah. Did you cry? No, you don't. The tears don't run. It's just okay. Mm-hmm. You used to cry a ton. Okay. Oh, you fell on the forehead. How old were you? 6 years old. Boom, fell in on the forehead. Pew. That's a crazy fall at 6. Crazy. Cause you could walk. How do you fall on the forehead? Okay, I respect it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. But you healed. I don't see any scars. That's what's up. All right. I'm going to tell you guys a story real quick. This is not about anybody as a client of mine. It's just a story. It's one about my little sister. Okay. So I have a younger sister. She is, I think, 2 or 3 years younger than me. I don't really recall. And one day we decided to sneak out the house and go up to the McDonald's. Fix your faces, guys. Thank you. So we were not allowed to go to McDonald's, especially on a school day, okay? But the McDonald's was right up the street, okay? But for us to go up the street, we didn't want to walk the regular sidewalked way that was created. We decided to walk through the woods behind our house, okay? So we're walking through the woods behind our house, and we go and we get our McDonald's. At the time, our order was 2 double cheeseburgers, no pickles, extra onions, okay? And then 2 large fries with some mayo and some ketchup. You mix those two together, you dip the fries inside, and you eat. It's amazing. So we have eaten the McDonald's. It's amazing. It's so good. And now, it's almost time for my mama to get home. Let's get back, okay? I think the sun was setting. Yes, because when we were leaving, it was still sunsetty, the sunset era. It was really nice. On the way back, it was kind of getting dark. But, we didn't want to go on the sidewalk, okay? So like, you know what? Let's just go down the route that we always go when we are going to McDonald's, which is through the woods. We are making our way through the woods. And there's like a little small creek that we will have to cross, and there was usually like 3 stones. You just go boop, boop, boop. Okay, you hop through the stones, you keep going, right? The time that we're heading home, we're moving. I think it was summertime. I was wearing some Birkenstocks. I think she had on some flip-flops. We're going through the creek, and she goes, ooh. She just makes a little, ooh. I'm like, okay, girl, come on, let's go. We keep going. She goes, man, my flip-flop is slippery. We're like, okay, well, we were just by some water. And she was like, no, like, the other flip-flop is not slippery. So now that's how you know it's getting dark, because we can't see what's going on her foot. Finally, I get my phone flashlight, and we flash the light down, and what do we see? What do you think? Blood. Boom. We're like, oh, man, how did that happen? We look closer. She has a gash from the arc of her foot all the way up. So somehow, some way she got cut. We don't know by what, but anyway, it's bleeding. But that's not the issue in the moment. We need to get home because we have to beat my mom home, and we weren't supposed to go to McDonald's, right? Yes, disobedience. Okay, we get it, right? But this young lady is now in pain. At the time of the impact of the whatever sliced her foot, she didn't feel it because we were just moving. We're going through the woods, got to get home, right? We get home, she's like, oh, this hurts really bad. We look closer, and we see that there's like an open gash. Have y'all ever seen your white meat in your skin? Have y'all ever seen that? Some people, you get cut, boom. Other people, little cuts. Hers was like a deep cut. I don't know how they do the degrees when it comes to cutting. So like, okay, well, this is bad. I have an older sister. My older sister is very saved. I'm just going to put it that way. And instead of worrying about the cut on my little sister's foot, you know what she was worried about? The fact that blood was dragging through the neighborhood. And she was like, oh, no, it's not good for your blood to be in the street. I have to go wash out your blood. We're like, girl, how are you going to see the blood? Just tell me which way you went. I'm going to go wash the street. She left the house with a bleach spray and a bucket of water because that's what she was worried about. We're like, what's happening to this foot? I hope you're okay. We put a little Band-Aid, she puts a sock on, and then we're like, you know what? We're not going to tell mommy anything. Let's just go to bed. You're fine. You're fine. It's just a cut. We get cut all the time. We used to ride bikes, do all the things, play sports. It doesn't matter. It's a cut. Like, okay, cool. My older sister comes back after having washed all the streets in the area, okay? And we go to sleep. My mom comes home. Nothing ever happened. Who had McDonald's? Not me, right? Who enjoyed a double cheeseburger? Not us, right? We ate at the McDonald's. We dined in, honey. We were. It was all planned out. How was she gonna know, right? So the next morning, after having what seemed like a successful mission, right? Get up, it's time to go to school. You get up early. So I remember my little sister and I shared a room at the time. I remember I would get up earlier, and when it was time to get up, she tries to get out the bed, and then she just stumbles. Okay? What do you think's going on? It got worse. I mean, Shorty can't walk no more. She can't stand up. She can't stand on her 2 feet. I was like, are you okay? She says, no, I cannot apply pressure to this leg, this foot that has this wound on it. Okay? We're like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen? Do we tell our mom? But like, she's gonna ask how it happened. So, are we gonna? Oh, you want me to? Oh, somebody said, ISIS told me to lie. Okay, lie. Tell your mom. Oh, what kind of lie am I coming up at 6 a.m. with a cut on the foot? What kind of lie? Oh, I told my yesterday. She was in middle school. Ain't no recess. Free time? I don't think we have free time. Y'all get free time. We didn't get free time. What was she doing at lunch? Okay, hit the table. The spiky part of the table cut the foot through the shoe. Through the shoe. I mean, when you lie, you have to think about the lie for real. Okay? And you get the shoe, and you go so I go ruin shoes and just to lie to my mom? Wow. She is stumbling. She can't even make her way to the bathroom to brush her teeth and to take a shower. She is in pain. And we are sitting there trying to figure out, bro, what are we going to say to this lady? That lady being my mama, okay? What are we going to say to her? Because right now it's not looking too good, okay? My little sister is a basketball player, so she needs to hoop, okay? It was so y'all are really dedicated about this lying. We did not lie to my mom. How is she gonna whoop the girl who's injured? Some parents be a little wicked. Yeah, your mom? Okay, well, we need to pray for your mom. She'll beat you before the hospital? I'm sorry. Wow. Okay, make sure you write that down on that little piece of paper. We can't talk about that. So we end up telling my mom, hey, don't get mad. You know how sometimes you got to start a conversation? Don't get mad, mommy, don't get mad. Mind you, at the time, my mom would have to get on the metro to go to work. Right? So she's like, I got to go to work. She's getting ready to leave. We're getting ready to leave. And we're like, hey, mommy, don't get mad. But like, Joe, there was an accident. But we didn't think it was that bad. But she woke up this morning, I think it's a little bit worse. I was like, well, what happened? We're like, oh no, she has a cut on her foot. Okay, well, tell her to wrap it up and go to school. We're like, no. It's not just like the regular cut you scraped, and then you keep it pushing. No, I see white muscle tissue. How are we gonna explain that to you? Let me see, she says. And here comes Jill. Mind you, there's stairs. Here comes Jill coming down the stairs, right? And she's like, well, why didn't y'all tell me about this yesterday if it was this bad? It wasn't that bad yesterday. So finally my mom looks and she sees that it's an open wound, okay? Not one that you just throw a Band-Aid on, right? But one that she had to take my sister to go get stitches. Okay? Now, had we not said anything, I don't know if my sister would have had a foot. Because somehow, some way, things would have probably gotten infected because we're keeping our mouths shut because we're lying. Okay? But some of us, that's a very dramatic story. It's real. It's true. I can call her right now. She'll show you the scar and the little marks where the staples and the stitches went. But that's just a story to kind of talk about pain. What level of pain do you think she was at when she first got the cut? Remember the story. We going through the woods. 1, okay. When she got home, when I shined the light on her foot, what level? 5, 6, 8. But when she woke up the next morning, 10 out of what? 10 out of 10. How many of you guys have ever had a 10 out of 10 type pain? Physical. Give me one. Give me what happened with y'all. Give me one 10 out of 10 pain that you've ever experienced. I can't hear you. I'm looking at you, yeah, and you're talking. Yeah. It was broken? You fractured? Yeah. Did you tie the shoe back up and keep playing? Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 And it rolled. Yeah. 10 out of 10, especially after the next day, that rolled ankle usually is extremely painful. Anybody else? A 10 out of 10 pain. Yes, sir. Enoch. You broke your wrist? How did that feel? It hurt. You were playing soccer. But you don't use your hands in soccer. What were you doing with your wrist? Oh, okay. One more, 10 out of 10. You slammed your pinky where? Oh, okay. Where? On what? Okay, the door. Okay. The car door. Like full on close? Wow. Okay. 10 out of 10 pains. Okay? Has everybody in the room ever experienced a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 pain? You can raise your hand if everybody, yeah? Yeah? Okay. Now imagine if you take the pain of your rolled ankle, okay? Imagine I'm sure you remember how it felt like to roll that ankle. I'm sure, Enoch, you remember how it felt like to hurt your wrist, right? You slammed your pinky into that door, right? Yeah. Imagine if that specific level of pain that you're imagining right now was all mental. No physical ailment, but just all up here. In your thoughts, in the way that you feel. Pause. How do you think you will respond? Y'all can talk to me. You don't know? That's real. Ouch. Okay. How would you feel if that 10 out of 10 pain, the same sister, went to Colorado, went skiing, and completely split her lip and had to get stitches all the way up her leg? Same sister. Okay? Yeah. You think I'm lying? I could call her right now. Y'all could call her, actually. Okay? 10 out of 10 pain, but instead of on your physical body where you see blood, you see it being swollen, you see all of that, it's like, it's just in the way that I feel. Anybody ever have that? Y'all not talking to me no more? I mean, if you don't want to answer it out loud, at least write yes on your little piece of paper. Okay? Anybody ever have a feeling where it's like, it's unbearable. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to respond. I don't know where it came from. I just have all these like overwhelming thoughts. Anyone? Yeah. I've had a few. What do we do in that situation? For those of you who have never had them, what would you suggest to someone who is going through a 10 out of 10 pain, but it's not physical? You don't see their hurt, but you know that it's happening. Yes, sir. Pray. Thank you. What kind of prayer would you pray for me if I told you that I'm so overwhelmed, I don't know what to do? Okay. Me? I had what? Oh, if I was overwhelmed? Mm-hmm. For my overwhelm. Okay, thank you. Praise God. Somebody else back here raised their hand. What would you tell me? Say that again. A supplement prayer for God's help. Would you know, do any of your friends go through things where they're probably at like a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 type of pain, and then they come to you and they're like, I need help, and you don't know what to do? Yeah? Were you nodding? Excuse me? Siblings? Yes. Do siblings count? Yes. They're your friends. Yeah. You have some friends who are going through a 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 type pain. They come to you and they're like, oh, ISIS. So-and-so, da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever they say. What do you say to them? Huh? You don't know? Okay. Some of us are going through stuff right here in this room and we don't really have answers to them, right? It might be really small, right? I was trying to buy some shoes the other day, but I don't know if you guys shop on the sneaker app. Do y'all shop on the sneaker app? Kinda. It's so difficult to buy these shoes. And I throw my phone because I'm just so upset, right? That's a pain for me. It's a pain that I can't get what I want in that moment, right? But for somebody else, it might be, I keep hearing my parents argue and I don't know what's going on. I'm unsure about where this argument is gonna go, okay? I'm gonna spill a little bit of tea. When I say that, for those of you who are just new in the room, I'm a therapist. People talk to me about their stuff and I'm supposed to keep it private, but y'all don't know who I'm talking about, okay? So I'm just gonna spill a little bit. I have some clients who are going through a lot of mental stresses, right? And oftentimes when they go to the people who they trust, quote unquote, they feel a lot of rejection. Has that ever happened to anybody? You don't have to respond, confidential. Just think about it if that's you. Some other people have a difficult time expressing themselves. And sometimes the words that they use in the moment aren't really the words that they mean. And because they use those words in the moment, they're rejected, criticized, pushed aside, and so on and so forth. That might be somebody else in the room. Okay? Now, what do we do with all these pains? Are these pains new to us? New to the world, new to society? Are you the only person going through that? Were you the only person that rolled his ankle ever in a basketball game going up for a block? No. Are you the only person who broke his wrist playing soccer even though we don't use our hands when we're playing soccer? I'm so confused. Right? There's so many pains. Are you the first person ever? Sometimes it feels that way. I've never gone through this before. Are you all the first people to ever go through whatever the pain is that you might be imagining? You can nod. Nobody's watching you nod. Y'all can look at me and nod. Yeses or no's. Okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. How do we handle pain from the mental health side? And then we're going to sprinkle Jesus. Is that okay? Is that okay this side of the room? Okay, now we're gonna make things a little bit fun. You wanna be my helper? Okay, you're gonna take your chair and move it here. It's not that serious. He's like, excuse me. You're gonna be the person that gives the people the dum-dums. No, but how are you gonna see who's talking to me if you don't? Yeah, appreciate you. I think I'm taller than you, am I? Oh my God. Yeah, I am. Yeah, y'all saw that? I am. Okay, so if you wrote down your things and if you're willing to give them to me, fold them up and put them in my hand. Those of you who are new in the room, we are just having a conversation. You are included. I would love for you to be included. I would love for you to participate. But we have some ground rules. What are the ground rules? You guys forgot already. What happens in the room? What else? When someone is speaking, you are listening. And what people are handing me right now on this piece of paper, I don't know if do you guys have any? You guys have papers? No? Okay. If you have my pen, please give it back. I don't believe in stealing. I want my pens back. They're really nice. They're also expensive. Rip one of these out. Pass it down to your sibs. Here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Don't keep my pen. I heard somebody say, well, keep her pen. Don't do that. Appreciate it. Is that my pen? You sure? Let me see. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Is your pen? Is her pen? Oh, all right. Thank you, sir. From this side of the room, papers and you're willing to give them up to me. Oh, that's really good. That's really good. You just got here. Okay, don't worry about it, yeah. Thank you. Was it a good pen? Was it a good pen? Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna open these up. If this is yours, you don't have to speak up, okay? We're just gonna converse about it. Converse is what we say. We don't say conversate. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, hold on. I want to pick one. So, listen up. To the participants, get some candy. Gentle throws. We don't want any more hurts, okay? Don't beam the dum-dums. Okay. So what's going to happen is I'm going to read what's on here, and if it's something that I want feedback from you all, how you would process through it, I want you guys to speak up about it. I want to encourage you to be honest. Whatever happens in the room stays in the room. This one is, okay, let me put that one there. Okay. This is exciting. It's like Christmas. Okay. You people who have grade issues, y'all didn't know your grade before going into spring break? Huh? Procrastination, that's your business, honey. Ooh, okay. Okay. Ooh, okay, I want to start off with this one. Somebody here said that one of the things that they are worried about one of the questions that they have is, does depression or addiction ever go away? The question is for the room first, and then I can talk about it. Feel free to participate as my handy dandy helper will reward you. Yes, sir. Of course. I mean, is this on? Okay, you guys take this one. You gonna give it to them?
Yeah, I was just like, no, you keep that one. And like, whoever speaks,
Whatever you decide, sir. All right. What was the question? All right, talk to me, room. Okay. Why? How? Who asked me that question? Go ahead. You're boisterous. You can speak up.
Well, I think depression and anxiety, it goes away because I, know some people that have depression or, addiction.
Mm-hmm.
I know people that have gone through that and they're better now. And with the help of, talking to someone, like a therapist or, praying or, about it praying about it to God. So yeah, I think that it does go away
In time, with help. Anybody else want to add to that? Does depression, anxiety, and or addiction go away? Are you raising your hand? You have a what? Oh. You asked the answer. Does it go away? Is it yes or no question? Does it ever go away? Is it new? Is it like a new phenomenon? What if I told you that Jesus experienced depression? Shocking. What do you, I mean, y'all not talking to me? Y'all don't want, did you give her a lollipop? Come on now. You didn't give him a, come on. She said she doesn't want one. You have to give one to her. Thank you. What if I said that? What if I said Jesus experienced some depression? Or some some sadness? Even knowing that he was going to be resurrected, even knowing that, he's going on the cross, he's going to die. We just celebrated Easter, right? What if I told you that depression's in the Bible? Would you believe me? Oh, boisterous, yes. Okay. Why? Why do you believe me? You have, I mean, Israel, I need my Vanna White to like work. There we go. Why would you believe me?
Well, a thing we, my siblings normally do with my mom and everything, like at night we read the Bible and like
Who's
we
your
just, Miss Yvette.
What does she look like?
Uh,
Sorry. I'm asking all these questions. Sorry. Is she
so-
like little? Is she like a little
Yeah,
Mexican lady?
yeah.
Love her. Okay, sorry.
But we would be up at night.
Yeah.
We would pray, like, and read the Bible, like, just like little Bible studies and explain verses.
Yeah.
I think the little book that like with the programs of each month. And, like,
Yeah.
so we're doing that. And throughout certain stories that we read, like we're able to understand, and like through that we explain what we think it personally means.
Yeah.
And as we're going through the Bible, we're seeing certain stories where people have been depressed and ways that they figured out to get out of it. So as for us, we've seen people both reading through the Bible and in person who have experienced it in fine ways. So
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Make sure you get your dum-dum. Thank you for sharing. Who knows Jonah? Y'all should know Jonah. I feel like that's like children's church stuff, right? What happened with Jonah? He got swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up? Let me stop. No? Okay. He got swallowed up. What if I told you that Jonah was suicidal? But how did he get there? How did the whale find him to eat him, to swallow him whole, huh? Yeah, but how did he get inside the whale? Did he want to go preach? Why not? Was he? Oh, he just didn't want to go preach? You're saying disobedience. I'm here for your interpretation. Yeah. But what if I told you he was suicidal? He didn't what? He didn't like them? You can speak up a little more. I can hear you, but I want them to hear you. Okay? Somebody turn to Jonah 4:3 if you have your Bible. While that person is turning to Jonah 4:3, who knows Job? Yes, you, Nessa. What's your name? I can't hear you. Dieu merci. Hi, Dieu merci. I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to come hang out with y'all. Who's Job? You want to give him a microphone? We might need to get a new Israel. Hold on, wait. Wait for what? The first verse? Jonah 4:3. Dieu merci. Who was Job?
He was a very rich man, and he was a loyal servant of God.
What happened?
He lost all his possessions
Yeah.
because Satan wanted to test him, even though God said not to test him, because he said he's his faithful servant, and that he was the most righteous man.
What happened with him? What did he suffer through? Yes. You want a mic, huh? Yeah, you do. Oh, then speak up there. What else? Okay, y'all not gonna start arguing. What happened to Job? He lost so much. Who did he lose? His children, his wife. I mean, everything. Yeah? 1 minute he had it all, the next he had nothing. What do you think that does to a person? Huh? Yeah. somebody who's suffering through great loss. Imagine right now in this moment, everyone that you consider to be close to you, gone. All the things that you have go away, ripped from your hands. What do you think that does to you? How would you respond? Somebody have to pick me up off the floor. You don't want to be alive, yeah. Isolated, alone. Heartache. Okay, somebody turn to Job 3:11. Job 3:11. If you were somebody in the Jonah 4:3, identify yourself if you're in Jonah 4:3. Are you in Jonah? All right, come up here and read Jonah 4:3 and tell me what it says.
It says, therefore now, O Lord, please take my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live.
My goodness. You know who said that? Jonah. What is he telling the Lord? Therefore now, O Lord. Who's he talking to? What does he say? Take my life from me. What does that mean? I don't want to be here no more. And all he was trying to do was go where? He was going to go preach where? Yeah. And he's saying, Lord, take me, please. Wrap this up. I'm done. Take my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live. Man, those are some big feelings, if I do say so myself. Have y'all ever felt that? You don't have to answer it out loud. Answer it within your spirit. Yeah, sometimes I felt like, God, this is a lot. It might be better for me to die than to live. Some people have those feelings. I'm not going to lie to you. When the sun rose, God provided a scorching east wind, and the sun blazed on Jonah's head so that he grew faint. He wanted to die and said, it would be better for me to die than to live. But God said to Jonah, is it right for you to be angry about the plant? Is it? Am I so angry? And then he says, and I'm so angry, I wish I were dead. Those are some suicidal thoughts. Clinically speaking, suicidal ideations. Your ideas are telling, okay, you don't want to be here no more. Who is in Job 3:11?
Why did I not die at birth? Why did I not perish when I came from the womb?
Jump down to verse 26.
And what I dreaded has happened to me. I am not at ease, nor am I quiet. I have no rest, for trouble comes.
Who's speaking? When the book of Job, who's speaking? There we go. What does he say? Why did I not perish at birth and die as I came from the womb? Excuse me. The man didn't get his dum-dum. He's saying, why did I not perish at birth? Why did I not die before I was born? This is Job, having suffered what? Great loss. All these people are dying, and he's like, my goodness, why wasn't I killed before I even came on this earth? It's gotten to be all so much. Why am I here? That's a big feeling. Those are very big thoughts, right? And then he goes on to say, I have no peace, no quietness, no rest, but only in turmoil, which means, my goodness, I am distraught. Peace does not live here. How could peace live here if my entire family is gone? How can I be peaceful if I am currently plagued with thoughts that are not positive? If I'm being bullied at school, let's say, bullied on Instagram, bullied on socials, and I don't know what to do. Every day I'm getting spammed by some group in a group chat over and over. I don't know what to do. How do I know no peace. I am stressed. It's hard to what? You could, but Job, everybody died. He had no one. Think about that. Those are some big feelings. Can somebody turn to Mark 14. Oh, you're fast. 34. These are all people that I'm pinpointing that have gone through some level of pain. I told you guys about my sister, right? Y'all told me a little bit about some of the pains that you've gone through, but now these are some other people in the Bible who are going through their own pains. One of the questions that was asked, and a few of the questions that were asked, is about like, oh, well, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with depression? You know, some of y'all, I don't know if you're going to fail or pass the class. Just pray about it. But there's a lot of questions about, okay, well, how do I handle my emotions? How do I handle these things? Are we in Mark?
Yes.
All right. 14. Who's reading?
Me.
Nobody? Y'all didn't bring Bibles? Nobody reading from the book today? Okay. Do you have it? Are you reading? You have Mark 14? Thank you. Mark 14, 34. You got it? Thank you.
For the Son of a Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch.
Mark? That was Mark 14?
14?
14.
Oh, no.
No, go to 14.
Oh.
Go ahead. Mark 14, chapter 14, verses 34 through 36.
Huh?
Whenever you're ready.
Wait. Mark what?
14,
Verse 34.
Oh.
verse 34 through 36.
And saith unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful unto death. Tarry ye here, and watch. And he went forward a little, and fell on the ground, and prayed that if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. And he said, Abba, Father, all things are possible unto thee. Take away the cup from me. Nevertheless, not what I will, but thou wilt.
Thank you. Y'all heard it? Okay, who's speaking? Ah, you in the book. You be reading your Bible for real. Who's speaking? What is he saying in Mark 14, 34? Yeah, it's in the garden. In the Garden of Gethsemane. What is Jesus saying? Who is he talking to? He names the person he's talking to in this statement. Y'all have it open in your Bibles. Mark 14, 34 through 36. Who is he talking to? No one wants to talk to me? I'm going to read it again. And he said unto them, My soul is deeply grieved to the point of death. Remain here and keep watch. And he went a little beyond them and fell to the ground and began to pray that if it were possible, the hour might pass him by. And he was saying, Abba, Father, all things are possible for you. Remove this cup from me, yet not what I will, but what you will. Who is he talking to? Yeah, crying out, Abba, Father. What is he saying when he says, let this cup pass from me? Yeah, he was human in that moment, right? And he already knew what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? He already knew what was going down. He knew what was coming. He knew who was going to betray him. He knew who was going to go gamble on his clothing. He knew all of these things. And he said, hey, Abba Father, I don't really, my soul is grieved, but can this cup pass from me? That's Jesus, okay? So all of this to say, one, no feeling, no situation, no moment is too strange or too new, okay? That pain where my little sister was running through the woods, got cut, got the stitches, it was never the first time it ever happened, ever in the history of the world, right? Someone, somewhere got cut. Maybe at the time they got stitches or maybe they didn't, but they got cut, right? Just like you, you might be going through something, who knows, right? And it's not the first time. Jesus went through it. Job went through it. Jonah ran from it, was suicidal, swallowed up by a whale, then got spit back out. Imagine coming out the whale after being suicidal, like, I didn't really want to be here. And then you come out the whale smelling like fish, like, hey, y'all. You know what I mean? He survived that. There's a testimony there, right? There's a story there. We talk about, oh my goodness, Jonah got swallowed up by the whale. We talk about that. But we don't really talk about the type of mental distress or stress that he might have been under to even go to the point where it's like, all right, swallowed up, right? We don't talk about the mental pain that Job is going through as much. We just talk about all about what he's lost. He's grieving, you know. Grief is like a wave. It comes and it goes, it comes and it goes. He's grieving. He doesn't really know. Some of us don't know how to handle that, right? We can lose a basketball game and lose our minds, right? I was supposed to make that last layup. It slipped from my fingers. I traveled. My toe was on the line out of bounds, right? And we are like angry about it for the rest of the day. There's some people who are 40, 50 years old still talking about that high school championship because they're just so in pain by the fact that they couldn't make that last free throw. And so much more. Whether it be, I had every answer right on the exam but one. And now I don't know how I'm responding. That could be painful for someone, right? Whether it's, I don't know how I'm going to tell my friends, or I don't know how I'm going to respond to family because I have a lot of shame when it comes to this specific thing. That could be painful. Okay? Some of us are going through a lot. Some of us don't talk about it. I want to ask you to determine internally if you have a safe space at home. Pause and think. Is home a safe space for me? Do I have room to be truthful and honest about what's going on? Are you sharing? You want to say it out loud? Oh, you were answering the question and he did something? No, okay. Some of us are carrying wounds from the past that we don't know how to handle. One of the questions on here is, how do I deal with my emotions? What does deal mean? If that's, well, I don't want you to tell me if that's your question, but how do I deal with my emotions? What emotions? What are some of the emotions that you guys feel are really big? Anger, ooh. I'm not gonna say I like anger. When I say I like anger, I mean from a therapist perspective. Okay, just to clarify. Frustration, yes. What are some emotions that you feel like, oh my goodness, once I'm feeling like this, all bets are off? What are some of those feelings for you guys? Depression? Okay. Anyone else? Suicidal thoughts? Anxiety? Thank you, Dieu merci. Oh, love your name. Resentment. Oh, that's a big one. Any other feelings that you feel are so big? Resentment, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, anger, frustration. Yes, ma'am. Envy? Ooh. Envy. Okay, tell me more about envy.
Like, it's not good to like have envy and you're like, yeah, you feel it. That's like toxic, I feel like, because you're never gonna be satisfied with like what you have, and like what, like, you just have to focus on like yourself and about you and not have envy like towards other. But obviously we have it. We all have it. But it's all about like, yeah, like just talking to someone about it and like praying about it.
What is envy? Thank you. You have to give one to Dieu Merci also, because he was responding. One lollipop here, right? What is envy?
Like
Jealousy? What does it mean? What were you going to say? You're whispering. You want something someone else has, okay. What else? What is envy? I'm envious of. Can it just be the perception that like what I have is not enough? Where I am is not enough? I'm not happy with where I am. I would much rather be where she is or where he is. Talk to me. Insecurity. That's real. But you know, we have those feelings like, man, somebody wrote on here, I worry about if I'm going to be good enough to make it pro. Right? Now, as a former prodigy myself, at basketball, if you didn't know, I'm sure you could guess. Yeah. Some people have those feelings of like, am I going to make it pro? Especially in a space and place where a lot of times we're measuring ourselves up against somebody else. Am I good enough? This person is really good at this. They're really good at baking and selling the baked goods on Instagram. Am I going to be good enough, right? Am I ever going to make it? We become envious. We covet somebody else's gift. What is covet? What is covet? What does to covet mean? Desire. Yeah. Yeah. We covet somebody else's gift, right? What does that do mentally and emotionally if I'm always comparing myself against somebody else?
like it's toxic.
It's toxic. You're doubting yourself. What does that do up here? Yes. You're never going to be good enough. You're never going to measure up because somebody is always going to be better than you. What does that then mean? Does that then mean that you, like Jonah, say, listen, take me out? What do you do with that? Where do you take that? How far do you go with your coveting? How far do you go with your envy? How far do you go with your rage, your anger, your depression, your anxiety? Right? These are all things. Here's what I'm going to say, and I tell this to my clients often. What you feel has been felt before. So it's not anything that's like, oh my gosh, you're angry? That's fine. That's new. That's not new stuff, right? Envy, not new. Is what we say is what you do in that space. Jonah didn't want to go preach. What did he do? Okay. He didn't have to do that. What he did ended him where? Right? Some of us, in the thick of our feelings, we do things that when we look back, I maybe shouldn't have done that. Right? But it goes back to that question of, do I have a safe space? Do I know of a safe person that I can go to and say, hey, right now, I am full of rage. I'm about to pray that same prayer that Jonah was praying. You know, if you're a churchy, like, I'm about to pray that prayer that Jonah was praying, you know. Do I have a safe space? Who do I go to? How do I communicate? Do they even understand when I say, I don't have enough to give? Or I don't know the words to say, but I'm here and I need help. Okay? I want you to think about that. Do I have a safe space? And if your answer internally is no, you can talk to me afterwards. Right? The number one thing here is your safety overall, right? But also community. What is church but not community? Y'all are here. Y'all know each other. You know of each other, right? I'm sure if something happened to someone in this room, you will feel away, right? Community. And part of community is being able to rely on each other. I really needed Israel here to hand out the dum-dums. Granted, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. But I needed him to do that. I couldn't do it all by myself. I needed some help, right? Same thing. Going through something solo is not how we were made to be. God created us to be communal beings. There's a reason why we come together, right? When 2 or 3 are gathered, right? We come together for a purpose, for a reason. We're not meant to do life alone. So whenever you find yourself alone physically, right? Or you feel alone mentally, that's a perfect sign to say, wait, hold on now. I need to go to my safe space. I need to go to my safe person, right? Jesus Christ in the Garden of Gethsemane is crying out to his Father, Abba, Father, right? He's calling on his Father. He already knows I'm about to be crucified. Them people are outside waiting on me, right? But still, and yet he calls on his Father. That's Jesus, right? You're not less than. You get to call on Jesus as well. You also get to lean into your community. What's the point of church, showing up, looking nice, talking to other people, if you can't call on those same people for help? What's the point? What's the point of showing up here, having a conversation with me, if you can't reach out and converse and talk about things, right? This may not be a conversation that matters to you in the here and now. But maybe later you might remember, oh my gosh, that girl, her sister cut her leg. And then she told us about whatever. Who knows how it's going to come up again, right? But I want you to pause and think, man, do I have a safe space? If I don't, can I identify one person in my life that I can go to and say, hey, I need help. I need security. I need community. My friends are not safe for me. I need someone safe. I need somewhere safe. I don't feel included. I feel isolated. I need. Do I have a place to go to for that? Do I have a person to call on for that? Think about it. And if in the thinking, no one comes up, nothing comes up, feel free to chat with me afterwards. But I want you to think about that. Who is that person for me? And if you haven't talked to that person in a while, if you're currently at odds with that person, maybe reach out and say, hey, yo, what's up? How are you? Okay? If that person is a parent, it's okay to hold space and have conversation with that parent about, hey, I have identified you as somebody that I feel safe with, and I want to be able to come to you when it comes to my stuff. Maybe your parents don't know that if it's a parent. Okay? Do I have any questions in the room? No? I'm going to read a question from here. Oh, where did it go? Somebody asked me, why would you become a therapist? I feel like that's an attack. You want a lollipop? You did. So we don't have any questions in the room because I feel like these questions I can answer, but I want to answer a question that someone can benefit from. Y'all need to do your homework on time. Y'all need to use your time wisely. A lot of time management. Is school the biggest worry right now? Yes or no? Why is that? Grades, okay. Only for this side of the room, though. So, when I started this conversation, I started talking about it from what perspective? Pain, right? Has anybody ever experienced pain? That's how we started the conversation. And Yes. I think everybody in the room had, right? Who said no? Who said no? Wow. Wow, God's gift. That's what's up. I started the conversation talking about pain, right? Some of us are going through mental pains, emotional pains, whatever, but mainly I started the conversation talking about a physical pain. Who recalls what the physical pain was that I spoke about? I told a very good story, if I do say so myself. The cut of what? Whose cut? Yeah, you get a lollipop. You're good? Okay. Okay. And in that, one of the things that I wanted to highlight is that I was with her when she got cut. I didn't know it happened, but I was there, right? Going back to that community piece, support piece. A little bit, we were moving, you know. We were just moving and grooving. She was also supported by my older sister. Granted, everybody's support looks different. My older sister wanted to go wash the blood off the street. I was just trying to wrap her little leg up. Support. That goes back to my question of, can you identify someone? You might have somebody who's going to go do the running in the street to clean up the blood. And then you might have somebody else who's going to be there and hold your hand. I will tell you later. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So as you guys are growing, maneuvering through the world, engaging with different people, holding different conversations, right? I'm going to encourage you to look for 3 things when it comes to community, okay? The first thing is safety. What is safety? Protection, yeah. What else? What is safety? You weren't listening? I was saying that I'm going to leave you guys with 3 things to look for when you're trying to establish your community. And the first thing is safety. What is safety? You don't know? This is the first time you don't know. Someone that you're sure you can trust. What is safety? Feeling secure. That's a good word. Safety, security, I'll kind of put them as synonyms. You guys know what a synonym is? Okay. Okay, number 1, safety. Security, right? What is the first rule of the room? How does that establish safety? No. That means that if I hear about my little sister outside of these doors, somebody broke the rule of the room. Somebody violated my safety. Okay? So don't go telling. I don't want to hear about it. If I hear about it, if it somehow, some way finds its way to me, I know who was in the room. So safety, you're making sure that the person or the people that you're going to, you know that they're not going to take your business and harm you with it. Okay? So number 1, safety or security. Number 2, trust. How do you guys establish trust when it comes to your friends? How do you know your friends are your friends? How do y'all establish that? How do you establish trust? Seeing how to act. So you're watching them? Okay. Okay. You were raising your hand, sir. Honesty. That's good. I like that. Anybody else? How do you establish trust? Hold on. Yes, ma'am. I cannot hear you. If you're friends with them for a long time and if they're talking about somebody else's business, you're kind of like keeping an eye. Okay. How do you establish trust? Yes, Dieu merci. I can't hear you. Interact with them and learn them as a person. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's built over time. You don't immediately trust somebody. So y'all didn't immediately trust me. Y'all ate them dum dums though. I could have put something in them. What do you mean? You trusted me? Look at that. I'm just kidding. Okay. The dum dums were bought from the store. Yes. How do you establish trust? Okay. If somebody's talking behind your back. So speaking or telling everybody your business, it goes back to the first thing, which was what? Safety, right? So everybody establishes trust differently. Some people, I see you, I think you're great, I trust you. Other people, give me a few years, and then I'll get to trust in you, right? Everybody is different, but you need to know how you establish trust before you're able to trust, right? It takes trial and error. Not everybody you're going to get along with. Some of the friends that you have now at school, you're probably not going to see them again in 10 years. Right? You can't put all your eggs in one basket. It's okay. You can be stingy a little bit, keep some to yourself, and get to know someone. Okay? But establishing trust is important. And trust only comes when there's safety. If I feel safe with you, I am more likely to trust you. That same sister, when she drives, do you think I go to sleep? Do you think I fall asleep in the passenger seat if she's driving? Yeah, I don't. Because if you couldn't walk down the street without getting hurt, how are you supposed to drive? Okay? Okay? So it comes over time. I'm able to trust and be safe with a person, right? The last thing is fruits of the Spirit. What are the fruits of the Spirit? Okay, y'all are going too fast. One person, slowly and out loud. What are the fruits of the Spirit? Speak up. There's a mic right there. If you're going to. Okay. Why am I saying fruits of the Spirit when it comes to building community? Why is that important? Y'all were just so loud about what they were. Yes, ma'am. Okay. It builds trust. Why are the fruits of the Spirit important? Okay, builds relationship. Why are the fruits of the Spirit important? They'll know them by the fruits. When they say them, who's them? The folks around them? Around you? You will know them by their fruits, right? The fruits mean what? If I am an apple tree, I should be able to come out with apples, right? But if my apples are soiled with something, it will show up in the fruit itself, right? So they will know them by their fruit. So if you're thinking about building community, it was Job who says, I have no peace, no quietness, no rest, but only in turmoil, right? No peace, no quietness, right? Do you think love, joy, and the fruits of the Spirit would equal no peace, no rest? No, right? So when you're thinking about building your community, think about the fruits of the Spirit. Is this person, especially when it comes to dating, is this person someone that is displaying the fruits of the Spirit? Maybe you might be too engaged in, so many hard eyes to see it, but you can look for that. Do I feel safe with them? Do I trust them? What am I looking for? Okay? Now, last but not least, community. Do the people that know you and know you well, can they tell you about yourself? Can they check you? Can they tell you, you're behaving badly, try again? The people that you identify as being in your community, can they say, I did not appreciate the way you spoke to so-and-so. You might need to go and revisit that and apologize. And then do you receive that feedback well? Or are you enraged and angry when they're telling you, hey, you should have done better? When they're correcting, when there's some level of correction. Because in community, we correct. Sometimes you get mad. You got to check that. Why am I getting mad when I'm being corrected? Okay, is the correction for my good? I should be able to accept it, right? Ask questions, get some clarity, obviously. Okay? But I just want you guys to be able to build community. I want you guys to be able to have safety. What else? Trust. What else? Community. And what was the number 4? Fruits of the Spirit. Yeah, we know that you're answering all the questions. Okay? Mental health, mental illness is a pain. Just like my sister got hurt, just like he rolled his ankle, just like Enoch broke his wrist, right? Pain, it's a pain, but it's usually just in our feeling, in our thinking. What we do in that space is what would then result to a physical pain. I have clients who harm themselves. You guys know what that is? Self-harm. You guys are aware? That's after they have thought and felt something painful, right? And then they harm themselves. That's a doing. So I can think and I can feel, but what I decide to do with it is what changes everything. They're individuals who think and feel very big feelings. And when I say big, I just mean the regular feelings, but just at a just higher magnitude. And then what they do can be disastrous. I know you guys heard about people shooting up schools after being bullied. Y'all heard about things like that? Yeah? They were probably feeling some big feelings, probably a lot of rage, right? They thought, they felt, and then they did something. They could have done something else. We always have a choice, right? I would challenge your choice to be one that is fruitful and helpful and less hurtful and harmful. Okay?